Don't forget to refresh it. But whenever you add the project, if you want to use CodeKit, whenever you add a file, you need to refresh it so that it knows that there's new file added to your project. Okay. So now we want it to be yellow. See, it changed to yellow. So that we don't like it. We want it to be red. Okay. And we want to have some pendings. See, everything is just work. You can modify your code and then see the result on the browser instantly. You don't need to switch between your IDE and the browser. It's a very convenient feature. So share tooth. Suppose that I have a question. I don't know how to implement the feature. I want to share it to the public community so that somebody understands it, would like it, would solve it to me. So how do I do this? Here I will introduce two of these tools. Cloud9, you already saw it. So you could try the collaboration feature in the hands-on lab later. And there's another tool called the JS Beagle. JS Beagle is a tool that you could write a code snip, as you can see here. We could create a project, add the HTML, the JavaScript, the CSS, and then this is the output. You could write a code snip there, and then there's a tool called, should be share here. Let's take a look at it. So that we create a project here. Oops. Help. Save this code snip, and I can share it using any of these links, so that you could send these links to your colleague, your friends, or post it to this, for example, Stack Overflow, to the Google Code. There's a lot of websites that you posted there and ask for help, and then people would just see these codes and then they could modify it to show you how the solution could be. And this is very useful when you just don't know what to do with the code and can search any results on Google. So you can write down your question in these tools and then post it. And then last, I want to just show you how to debug JavaScript. For example, our project has a little problem, but we don't know exactly where it is. It just don't work great. So how do we find these problems? For example, oops, let me write something wrong. I said this method doesn't exist. Oops, I refresh this one. Then I want it to react on a click event. Okay, save it. But when we click, nothing happened. Why? So you can right-click your page, and then in the bottom there is something called the inspect element. When you click it, there will be an inspector panel pop up, and you can see that, hey, we have one error here. So we can take a look. Say that has no method get element by ID, and which exact file and line does it happen. So we can go back and find, oh yes, here we have an error. Let's modify it. And still event lesson. Oh, this is wrong too. So maybe we'll do that. No. Of none. Oh right, this element doesn't exist. So what we do, we create it. Let's call this, give this paragraph an ID context. Still wrong. Why? Is it not the same project? I'm pretty sure it's here, right? And at this time, you can take a look at this element tab. Here, you can see your project DOM code is basically the same here. So we have it. Why is it wrong? We could try it here. In the console tab, we could write JavaScript code. We could text things. Get element by ID text. Yes, it did exist. So right, turns out that when this script is added to the document, the DOM still not exists yet. So this time it's right. We can click it, and then everything works. So this inspector has a lot of other features except this console. You could print error code. You could print error. You could print debug logs here simply by adding a JavaScript code here. Something like console log or wall or error. There is something wrong. Why is it not updated every time? Oh, I'm not clicking yet. So when you click this function, and then it will print an error log. And in the element tab, you could take a look at what the DOM is looking like. It looks like, and you can modify it too. See that this change, so that we could edit the page right in the browser and see the result instantly. And this network tab is also a very useful tool, so that we can inspect the network requests of this web page. For example, this page is consists of an index.html. We have a main CSS, we have a main JS. You can take a look at the detail of the request. We can see the preview, response, a lot of things. This is the place if you have any problem of your project, you don't know why is it wrong, so that you can open the inspector and find error logs, or just go check these tabs. Okay, my session is already 10 minutes long. Any questions? Yes?
How about Firefox?
Oh yes, of course.
Firefox.
Of course, Firefox. Yeah, I'm open, already open here. It's basically the same. You can take a look at the DOM of the Cloud9 IDE I just introduced. There's a lot of DOMs down there. You can take a look at it. And the CSS file associated with this document, this script, the DOM element of the what's the console? Yes, here's the console. You can do the same with WebKit.
Can you show us the 3D view?
Which one?
3D.
3D?
Yeah, in Firefox.
I've never used it yet.
Yeah, there's a 3D view. You can see the elements of the web page in 3D.
Come here. Demonstrate it.
It's like real time.
Really? There's such a cool feature?
This is Firefox.
Yeah, Firefox.
Because it's built in.
Oh, you need to download it.
Are you using the latest Firefox?
Yes. I installed it this morning.
new.
Wow, this is much cooler than WebKit.
This is the new Firefox Inspect Elements. So you can actually click on pieces. Here you can see the different elements that are inside each other. This is based on the CSS. We can look at the style for any element, and then we can also see a 3D view.
Wow,
That's on the page.
that's really
So if you want to, it kind of shows you the layers, how many elements, what's inside each element. You can play around with only the latest Firefox.
As you can show your project this afternoon and say, hey, how cool is that?
Try it out.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I didn't notice which one. Click which one.
Oh,
Which
so,
one?
I'll close this. So you'll control click and then inspect element. Right. And then it's usually whatever mouse element you're over. Then there's the 3D view here.
Oh, yes, down and the red button.
And then you can click to see which element is where.
Can I modify the style on the right?
Yes. So a lot of these you can actually get. You can actually change these values and it will update in real time. So it's a way to. It doesn't save it anywhere, but you can just try out some things like. Let's go. This element. I can turn some things on and off. So let's go that. So as you can disable some elements. So you can't really see. You can, if the rule is not there, what happens? I can then just edit this. And again, this is not saving anywhere; it's just in the browser. But you can open up any web page and kind of explore. Say like, how did they do that? What is it made of? And these tools now are very good, either Firefox or Chrome. Get the rules and you can actually see all the values here, what it is. And usually you can then actually click through to where in the source code it is. So then this opens up automatically, tells me which line and file, and I can copy the code out, put it in my own project. Any other questions? Yes?
Unit testing tools to recommend.
Any,
Testing tool like unit testing or
unit testing for JavaScript?
I don't know. Maybe.
We use a unit testing library called Jasmine, but I'm not sure you're asking JavaScript or HTML? JavaScript. We use Jasmine to test the user interface because a lot of time, if you're writing a web project, the things that goes wrong usually is the user interaction. So we use that tools to ultimately test the interaction flow to make sure that the UI responds right. Okay.
So the code that you just opened up, the line number, is it the minified code or?
Depends on which file you are looking at.
So if the file is minified, does that line number represent where after the comments and stuff?
It doesn't unminify it. It'll show. Sometimes the minified file is just one line.
Yes.
So it's a little bit more difficult to work with.
It makes no sense of a line number.
It's not really readable. The question is about a minified file, so you can actually make JavaScript files smaller,
Yes.
so they're faster to load. You just compress all the shorter variable names. That's automatic, but then it's very difficult to read.
Yes. Actually, you don't modify the compressed version.
Yeah,
You add it on the source code and then combine. Is there any more questions? No?
Sorry, can I have some feedback? Is it too slow or too fast? It's okay? The speed? The depth, all this? feedback? No? Continue?
Okay. John, you want to give us a little intro for afternoon?
Yes.
Okay.
The golden microphone. Hi everyone. How's your afternoon? Good? Feeling good? Yeah? Waking up? She's awake. Look at that. It's like, oh man, I drank like 10 coffees today. I did. So this afternoon, what we're going to do is we need to break up into 4 groups. And the simplest way to do that is, I think we have 1, 2, 3. 3 in the front, 3 here, and then in the back after these first 3, so I think we can each take a section. That's a good way to do it. 14s. I think it might be a little more like 3.5. I mean, and also you've got a little bit of a feel for the different types of things that we're good at. So if there's somebody you here you want to like work with a little bit more, then also we're flexible. Feel free to move into that. Like maybe you guys hate me. You don't want to work with me. I'm just kidding. But I'm going to probably always encourage people to work more on your individual project. Christopher, he's probably going to focus more on the CSS, the style elements, how these things are going. I think, Oscar, you're going to talk more about our JavaScript, these details, and Tim probably going to talk more about HTML5. No, but anyway, so let's just break it down like this. I think probably in this front section, Oscar, you want to take this front section? And then Christopher, you take the back section. Tim, you take the back section here. And I can take the front section. Sound good? So really quickly, I just want to talk a little bit about project ideas. What kind of things you guys want to get out of this? Now that we've been going through this a little bit, are you thinking? Your wheels are turning in your head. Like, what do you want to do? What do you want to create? You should look at us as resources for you right now. We can stand up here and give lecture all day, but I think the part where really the pedal hits the metal is when you can start coming up and working on your own thing and asking us questions. We can help you. Earlier, some people were asking about graphics, Photoshop. How do you get a design and apply it? Maybe some people want to make some more basic, want to talk about making a resume, looking for a job, or other things. You have an idea. What? Oh, the chart. Like yeah, that's right. You were talking about using some Google chart API. Google has some nice tools that make it easy. This is the fun thing about all this HTML5. There's Google and some other company, Yahoo as well. They have a quick API for being able to make some of these simple, like with the simple commands, you can make very nice and pretty results. Like this chart API allows you to be able to create charts on the fly from simple commands. But if you're not there, you don't have to go there. I think today it's better we focus on making simple things, simple web page, simple little things like that. So I think at this point the best thing to do is to break apart. And we're going to spend probably the next 15 minutes that we have in the schedule just talking about ideas, and then from that point you can grab a drink or whatever, and then we'll start focusing, and the teacher will go around in the group and start working. So it'll be more of a focus time. And then at the end of the day, around I think 5, we'll come back together and see what people have gone to. So good? Sound good? All right, let's break apart then. Some like music.
I think we have until 3:30.
Oh, we have until 3:30? Okay. All right, great.
45 minutes to...
Okay, 45 minutes to talk about stuff.
45 minutes.
My laptop.